What's up, my central unit? Is the Central Man here. So this is gonna be my review of WCW Monday Nitro. For the 11th of September 1995. This is episode 2 of Monday Nitro. Anyway, there is nothing to talk about of this episode of Nitro. I'll get to it at the end. So this show was in Miami, Florida. The commentators for this episode of Monday Nitro are Eric Bischoff, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Steve Mungo McMichael. Anyway, so the first match to kick off Nitro, we got Sabu making his WCW appearance, his debut, taking on the Das Thunder Kid, Alex Wright. Okay match. Wasn't really like terrible. It just showcased what Sabu can do. In the end, Sabu hit like I think it was a Hurricane Runner onto Alex Wright to score the victory. It's basically like he playing face first. It's like what do I call it? Snapmare Hurricane Runner. And anyway, so Sabu got the victory, and then afterwards, basically Sabu put Alex Wright through a table, and then also then they reversed the decision. It was like, what the fuck? They just basically, this is Sabu's run in WCW was very short. He debuted on this episode. He left the company about 2 months later, and he came back to ECW. He showed up at the ECW's November to Remember event. It's just basically like what they did to Sabu. It's like he got his first win in the company, and also they reversed the decision to give it to Alex Wright because Sabu put him through a table. What the fuck? It's basically like it's very damn shame and very criminal that Sabu never really got like a crack in the big promotions. This company WCW and also in the WWF. I know it's WWE. Years like a decade later, when ECW as a third brand, they just don't. It's like every time, like like an ECW guy who do well in that company, and then they go to a big promotion, whether it's a WCW or a WWF slash WWE, and they just don't have plans for this person. It's like with Public Enemy, they don't want an ECW, and then also went to don't want an ECW, and then do well in don't want ECW, don't want WCW, not don't fuck all in WCW, and also don't fuck all in the WWF. Look at Public Enemy, went to WCW, didn't do nothing. I think he feud with the Nasty Boys at the Uncensored pay-per-view. Sorry about that. I'm confusing with WCW and ECW. It's but anyway. So yeah, then also they went to the WWF. Same thing. It's like a small guy. It's I feel like a small guy who do not a small guy. I'm not saying that a person who do well in a small promotion, whether it's a female competitor or male competitor or a tag team. Yeah, do well in a small promotion, and then they go to a big promotion, a big wrestling company, and they drop the ball. Like that Sabu, which is like basically like they have no plans for Sabu. Maybe there's like they don't see Sabu as maybe they just maybe they want to adapt to the bigger version of Sabu. Because ECW is a small promotion, and WCW and the WWF they are the big promotion. It's just like I don't want to get into it. So anyway, so yeah, it's just a decent. They should have more plans for Sabu. I'm not saying Sabu could be a world champion, but they should treat him better. Anyway, so the first promo, actually the first and only promo, actually there's two. That'll be in the end. We'll get to that later. But the first promo of this week's Nitro, you had Gene Okerlund interviewing Ric Flair. And this is a week after Arn Anderson turned on Ric Flair. This was after Flair's match with Sting for the United States title. Basically, like when your Flair got himself disqualified because he refused to let go of the figure four leg lock because he's touching the ropes. Anyway, Arn Anderson basically beat down Flair, chased off Flair. So, and there's no aftermath to this. There's no aftermath. Arn Anderson is not there on the show. Flair is not pissed. He's just basically just happened like this thing's never existed. It's basically like you said about Double A. We used to be, he used to be my running mate, my main man. You said about we are, he's basically comparing, Flair comparing Arn Anderson and himself as, was it Joel Montana and Lawrence Taylor. And then you got like Lex Luger came out, and basically this is completely pointless. Basically Flair's pointing over Luger, said about, he's 6'5", he's 260, and also he said about his arms about 22 inches and his chest is 60 inches. And yeah, he's basically pointing over Luger, hyping up Luger, said about Hogan, like the total package is going to take control. And Luger says, things haven't changed, you're just too much. I thought it would be a confrontation between Flair and Luger, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So why Luger came out? I don't get it. Anyway, so moving on to the next match. The next match, we got Sting defending the United States title against Michael Wall Street. This is his really first match in WCW. Michael Wall Street, he's the former IRS, Irving I. Shyster. And now they kind of dubbed him as VK Wall Street. I think it's just a shot towards Vince, Vince McMahon, because Vince's middle name is Kennedy. Anyway, so VK Wall Street's match with Sting. It was alright for what it is. There was one botch by Sting. I'm not gonna crap on it, but Sting was going for like a shoulder block here. He's trying to jump. He couldn't do like a flying shoulder block. He barely hit Wall Street. He kind of recovered after that. Wall Street had some offense. In the end, Sting hit the Stinger Splash and the crossbody to win this match and retain his United States title. He's been became the U.S. title since I think it was June of that year, because he won the United States title at the Great American Bash of that year. This is third title defense, because he fought, he defeated Ming at Great American Bash, successfully retained the title against Ming at Bash of the Beach the following month's pay-per-view, and then his match with Ric Flair ended in disqualification. So fourth title defense. Oh, by the way, Bischoff just gave the results of Raw, because at the time Raw was a tape show. I wish Monday Night Raw go back as a tape show. I feel like they're doing this thing right now. Everything's in the ring. That's another story, another topic for another time. Anyway, so before I get to the next match, I need a drink. Be right back. Anyway, so match number 3, we got Randy Savage taking on Scott Norton. This was a decent match between Savage and Norton. Savage kind of carried Norton to a good match. Norton kind of got the heat. Like one more of the match, Savage was going for like a move off the top rope, and then Norton countered it into a bear hug. In the end, you got the Dungeon of Doom. You know, you got like they're trying to interfere. You had the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan. You got Kamala. You got the Zodiac. Basically, that's the former Brutus, the Barber Beefcake. You know, Ed Leslie. Let's see, you got Kamala, Taskmaster, Zodiac. Oh yeah, John Tenter. He's Avalanche. He's called. He was formerly known as Earthquake, and then he will be using his real name. I thought that's his real name in real life. John Tenter. He'll be Golga, part of the oddities in the WWF in the late '90s. Sorry. They're trying to interfere, but Savage basically one more of the match. Really at the end of the match, he had Savage throw Norton into Avalanche. And then Savage hit the diving elbow onto Norton to score the victory. And then afterwards, Norton got pissed off of the Dungeon and Doom. And I don't understand why Kevin Sullivan grabbed like this. He was holding like this staff. I think it's trying to be like a Grim Reaper scythe. If you see a Grim Reaper with the scythe with the axe, the long axe on top of the stick. That's not the last time we see the Dungeon of Doom on this show, and this was the start of the Dungeon of Doom angled formation of the Dungeon of Doom, because Kevin Sullivan has come to Taskmaster, form his group, and you got like Kamala, Zodiac. Let's see, you got Kamala. Yeah, this like Kamala. Yeah, Kamala. Avalanche. And also the Giant. Anyway, so moving on to the main event. The main event, we got Hulk Hogan defending the WCW title against Lex Luger. This is the very first time that Hogan and Luger fought one-on-one. It's really funny fact that by the time when Luger debuted in the WWF, Hogan left the company in 1993. So it's by the time like one debuted and other left. And really funny, here's some good trivia. Hogan and Luger trained by the same wrestler. I don't know. I'm not gonna pronounce this dude's name. Is a Japanese wrestler. So, and when Hogan left the company in 1993, like fans trying to make Luger as the next Hulk Hogan because they're both. I think Hogan's a bit taller than Luger. I think Luger's about 6'5", maybe 2 inches. 6'5", 6'6". Hogan's about 6'7". They both got blonde hair. With Vince, they're trying to make him as good old USA Hulk, Lex Luger. Sorry, that was a flop. That was a flop push. I don't want to get into it, but and Hogan was doing Thunder and Paradise, and then making his debut in WCW in his first Bash to Beat '94. Anyway, so this is the very first first of many in WCW at that time between Hogan and Luger, and this match was okay. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It wasn't like cringeworthy. Yeah, it was okay for what it is. I feel like one more of the match, Luger got Hogan in the torture rack, and Luger was a bit of a dumbass. Like, when the referee, every time like someone put the other wrestler into a submission hold and the referee checked for the pulse, you got until the count of 3. If he's not he's on never raised by the count of 3, that will be an automatically a tap, really a TKO. Actually, it's not really a typical knockout, but you'd be submitted to. I'm trying to say something. Shit. You win that match by submission or passed out. You be passed out. I'm trying to say. Sorry. Luger was a dumbass. When the referee checked for Hogan's arm, I think he got his hand by the count of 3. Luger dropped Hogan, and he looked like he celebrated like he won the title, but Hogan did not. Hogan didn't submit. He didn't pass out. I'm trying to say. And in the end, Hogan was doing his sells, not selling Luger's punches, doing the. I think he's doing the point. I think he did the big boot. I think he managed to hit Luger with the leg drop. He's about to pin Luger. All of a sudden, you got the Dungeon of Doom beating down Hogan, and the match ends in disqualification. This is the time, the referees treat like referees. I feel like in later years, the referees are dumbasses. They didn't do nothing. They just allowed, someone use a foreign object, hitting each other like foreign like objects. If it's not a no disqualification match, that was in the later years, but anyway, so you had the Dungeon and Doom, all members beating down Hogan, didn't beat down Luger, and then you got like Savage and Sting came to the rescue, chased down, really chased off the Legion of Doom. Oh no, the Dungeon of Doom. Sorry, fuck, I almost said I'm confusing with the Road Warriors, man. The Dungeon of Doom. Sorry. With the Legion of Doom, they are fucking badasses. The Dungeon and Doom, they are the fucking duds. Worst faction in pro wrestling history. Anyway, so afterwards, basically like Hogan and basically Savage, they're basically instigating about Luger, what side he's gonna be in. Is he gonna be with us? Is he gonna be with the Dungeon and Doom? So and also, before I get to it, I forgot one piece of information. Oh yeah, in that after the segment between Flair and Hogan, Flair and Luger, sorry, the announcers announced that Flair will be in a match with Arn Anderson at Fall Brawl. Anyway, so and also they brought like original, they set up this match at Fall Brawl of that year. I think it's the Hulkamaniacs versus the Dungeon of Doom. Originally, Vader originally was supposed to be the fourth member of that team. One second, I need to research. I'll be right back. Sorry, folks. I was doing some of my research. Yeah, Vader was originally supposed to be the fourth man of the group. Man, I should have. If I did. I think it was a month ago. I did a review of Bash the Beach 1995. This was like the last WCW pay-per-view before the start of the Monday Night Wars. I forgot to. If I'd done it months ago, or really a month ago, found this research, I should have told about Vader. Because really Vader's last match with the company, really his last, I think his last match with the company was, or really the last pay-per-view match was against Hulk Hogan in the Steel Cage match at Bash the Beach of 1995. He was originally supposed to be. I'm gonna tell you right now. I should have talked about it when I did my review of Bash the Beach '95. Anyway, so yeah, the original fourth member of Hogan's team for the War Games match against the Dungeon of Doom at Fall Brawl. Originally, it was supposed to be Vader was supposed to be the original fourth member. Unfortunately, I'm guessing he left the company. There's rumors like he had a bust up with Paul Ondor. That's it. It's very thorough. The rumor. So yeah, Vader left the company, and then he had to run. I think he had to run the Indies before debuting with the World Wrestling Federation in early 1996. So yeah, Vader was gone. So Luger is supposed to be going to be the next be the new fourth member. I try to give it away anyway. So yeah, back to that segment. So yeah, basically Hogan and Savage is basically instigation. What side Luger's going to be on? Hogan's team or the Dungeon of Doom team. Basically like Sting. Sting and Luger are real life best friends. Sting trying to be the peacemaker. And he said he kind of put over Luger that well. It says he did pull up you with the money. You know what I'm trying to say. He said about he had a good match with you. It wasn't really a good match. It was okay, but he did have put Hogan's run with the money. I'm trying to say. Anyway, so he said about I want iPhone in. And Savage said about and also said why did the Dungeon and Doom attack me and Hulk Hogan instead of you and Jimmy Hart? And Jimmy Hart says, I brought you and Sting out there to save Hulk. And and then here's another spoiler. Jimmy Hart will turn on Hulk Hogan to join the Dungeon of Doom. This was like later on. I think it's like a month later. Anyway, yeah, in October of 1995, until we get there. But anyway, so Luger just accept like I will join you on one condition. I want another shot at the WCW World Heavyweight Title. And Hogan got a bit pissed off, so I'm guessing Luger's official. So I'll do my review of Fall Brawl 1995. That'll be next week because meanwhile I need to review Fall Brawl 1993. So anyway, so my final rating for the second episode of Nitro, I give it a 6. Probably I don't give it a 4. It wasn't really a bad match. Not really a bad show. I'm trying to say, it wasn't bad, but it was a bit average. There's nothing really to talk about. There's nothing, It was a bit of a letdown from the first episode. The only good match on the show, I have to say, Savage and Norton. It was a decent match. I placed, Sabu's debut match against Alex Ray in the middle, same as Sting in Wall Street, and also in the main event, and also. Flair's promo, I don't really say it's a bad promo, but I have to put in bad. Because it was a pointless, Flair should be pissed off because his best friend turned on him. And Luger showing up, that was a bit confusing. Yeah, 95 was really a bad year for the two major wrestling promotions, WCW and the WWF. So I don't want to review Monday Night Raws from 1995 anytime soon. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So anyway, the second episode of Nitro, it's just an average show. Could be a lot better. Anyway, so hope you enjoy my review of the 11th of September's episode review of Monday Nitro. Leave your thoughts on the comment section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. And we'll be back next week for another review of WCW Monday Nitro. So this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.